What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 2 of Mr. Z's Reef. I'm your host, Mr. Z, and today we're going to be doing an update on the 93-gallon cube. I haven't made a video in about a month. I've been waiting on all the equipment that I ordered over the holidays to come in and be set up and running before I did a full update. I didn't want to do unboxings of all the stuff that I got in because they didn't all come in at the same time. I don't like unboxing videos. It's quite boring, frankly. So I spared you guys that. So let's get to it. I ordered 4 metal halide bulbs. I got 2 20K bulbs. I got one 14K bulb that is currently in the system, and one 10K bulb. This one is from Pulserite. I can't remember what the 14K, what brand the 14K was, but these are, I believe they're Odessia, which is the brand of fixture that I have. I got them from eBay, super cheap. In all, I think I spent less than $50 on 4 bulbs. It's a far cry from spending that much, if not more, on just one bulb from certain sources. So if you're in the market for new metal halide bulbs, check out eBay. They've got good deals. Let's take a look at what is inside. I also purchased the SCA 302 protein skimmer. I wanted it in the overflow chamber where water is drawn down from the display into the sump, but it did not fit. So I currently have it in my quote-unquote refugium section. And I gotta be honest with you, for the amount of money that I spent on this protein skimmer, it is absolutely amazing. It's doing its job perfectly. I couldn't be happier with it. You don't have to go out and spend $500, $600, $700, $1,000 or whatever it is on top of the line protein skimmers to pull dissolved organics out of your system. And let me just show you here. This has been up for about a day and a half now. And it is skimming perfectly. I can't be happier. It's set up to run a little bit dry, so that I have more contact time, and it's working perfectly. I also did purchase a new check valve for my Kalkwasser reactor. However, I believe my pump is too strong, so it just blows water right out the connection point. So I'm going to be doing some research on what kind of pump is going to work best with the check valve, and I'm going to go from there. I'm also planning on upgrading my auto top-off system because the float switches that I have, I don't know if you can quite see them. So that's my float switch down there. It constantly sticks, and I find my auto top-off reservoir running dry, and my pump getting continuously stuck on. So that's it for the equipment down here. Up here, I also purchased 2 ATI Coral Plus T5 bulbs and 2 ATI True Actinic bulbs. Now, I knew going into buying this particular color combination that I wasn't going to be getting a super blue hue that a lot of reefers think is very aesthetically pleasing. I'll be honest, I do wish I had a little bit more blue in there, but it's not about what is pleasing to my eye completely, because the corals are what matters most. And from everything that I've researched about the Coral Plus light is that the spectrum in it, the corals just love it. And I would completely agree. I feel like my corals have opened up more. They seem extremely happy with it. You can see my green star polyp right there is very open, very happy. The lights have only been on for about 35-40 minutes maybe, and everything I feel like they love it. I got the green star polyp, I got a frog spawn, green Nephthya, I have a Stylopora back there, and I can't quite tell. I've only had these corals in for about 3 weeks, but from what I can see so far is that they are growing, they are loving this light spectrum, and I couldn't be happier. I've also got 2 bubble tip anemones, and that clownfish right there could not have been happier to get those anemones back. Before, when it was just the fish in there, he would swim around and stir up the bottom of the sand bed and just be royally pissed off at life because he didn't have his anemones. And now that they're in there, he's no longer stirring up my sand bed, and he hosts both of them. I don't quite know what his hosting schedule is, but every couple of days he switches back and forth from one to the other. I also have a hammer coral, and I've got some Recordias down here on this rock. And then if you want to help me ID this guy right here, I don't know for the life of me what it is. I don't know what it is. I know I like it, and I possibly want to get another one. So if you got any insight, I know it's not a Blasto. Maybe it's an Acan. I don't know. Help me out here. And then I got some pulsing zinnias and some other mushrooms down there, and they are all doing fantastic with these new lights. I don't know if you can see it. I can't really get a good shot of it. He's hiding back there, but I got a serpent star, and my wife absolutely hates it. She thinks it's the most disgusting thing ever, and is creeped out royally every time I feed the tank. And it reaches its tentacles out there. She just gets completely creeped out by it. I'm going to lift up the canopy and show you guys what I did here. You can see those strip lights. I bought 2-foot strip lights also off of eBay for less than $30, and they are currently my moonlights. I bought them to go in conjunction with the T5s and the metal halides to see if it would give me a little bit more of a blue hue, but they are just outcompeted by the halide and the T5. So I decided, instead of wasting the money and just trashing the lights or using them somewhere else, to rig them up under my canopy and use them as moonlights. And I love it. I love the view that I get. I only have it set on for a couple hours at night after the daytime lights go off, but I like being able to look at the environment when the daytime lights go off and still be able to see some color, still be able to see what's going on in there, how everything interacts with each other once the lights go off. It's awesome. So yeah, that's an update on the 93-gallon system. We'll come back here in another couple weeks and see what coral growth has happened, how the system's doing after a couple weeks of running the protein skimmer. I want to try to get a UV sterilizer to kind of clear up this water. You can kind of see there's some particles floating around in there. I'm not sure if it looks to me like micro bubbles mostly. But whatever is floating around in there that's not micro bubbles, I'm hoping that the UV sterilizer will kind of combat and take care of and give me crystal clear water in my display. I'm also going to go through and redo, let's come back down here, I'm tired of standing. I'm also going to go through and redo my sump. I've had the baffles blow out of their seams on me, and I would really like to put that protein skimmer in the overflow chamber where the water comes from the display down into the sump. And I want to do that for two reasons. One is because I don't have any filter socks going on in there. I don't have any filter socks, filter floss. I just have some sponges and some makeshift filter socks hanging out in there right now to collect any large debris coming in. But I want to put that protein skimmer in there so that once it flows it's going to flow under one baffle over another baffle as a bubble trap. And that bubble trap is going to be there so that the refugium has 0 microbubbles, or close to 0 microbubbles. I want the refugium in the next chamber and hopefully have some chaeto in there for nutrient export and to kind of keep nuisance algae out from my display. I've done some research on some of the guys out there doing things like phosphate and nitrate dosing, adding those nutrients to their tank. From what I can see, they're having amazing coral growth and coloration success. I am just not experienced enough yet to be able to handle that. I'm not comfortable with it. I'm not going to do it yet, but it seems like a great idea. I want to get proficient in exporting my nutrients in hopes that I keep nuisance algae and stuff like that out of my display. And then from the refusion chamber, it's just going to go straight into my return chamber, and it's driven by a Jabo, I believe, DC pump, and I'm completely happy with it. But we'll go through more details on sump design, sump redesign when I am ready to do that. I hope you enjoyed. If you haven't already, click like on the video, leave me some comments, give me an ID on that one coral that I don't know for the life of me what it is. If you have any insight, subscribe if you want to get my name out there. I want to share the experience of this system with everybody and hopefully learn some things along the way. Hopefully I don't have any failures. Success comes with failure, I believe. But yeah, thanks guys. Have a good one.